Aloha and welcome to StarCrawlers. I'm Panther. This is going to be one of the vote if you want to see me play further titles. Yeah, I've played it a little bit, a very little bit. So I have a somewhat of idea of what I'm doing, and it's all the more reason. Here we are, boss! Terminus... Is that... Yeah, Terminus 9. Hub for the sector. Maybe it's nicer inside than it looks from out here. Guess we're gonna find out together. Let's talk. Word is the bartender runs the wire here. He's the one you should talk to about getting some jobs. Plenty of creds to be made if we get on his good side. Time for a drink then. Alright, so here's our start. We get the choice of male and female, all classes, and cyber ninja, engineer, force psycher, hacker, smuggler, soldier, and void psycher. Now, when I played this first time around, I was a female force psycher, and it gives you actually a heads up of what you can do. I equated force psychers to be somewhat of a paladin. I mean, that's what they look like, but oh man, kinda no. They are really, really different. I was enjoying myself playing a Force Psyker, and so I'll play another one. Lamarck! That's no. Dasvin. No. Deal. Nope. We're keeping that. Alright. No modifications. No post-mission healing. Downed crawlers suffer injuries. Boosted enemy and trap strength. Boss fights scale to your level. No auto healing whatsoever. Downed crawlers suffer permanent injuries. Deadly enemies and trap strength. Boss fights scale to your level, and story missions also scale you. Nope. Relax and enjoy the story. No, we're gonna go standard. And I'm not doing Iron Man. Permanent death and gear is lost forever. Not for the faint of heart. Great backstory. It gets better. So, my childhood. We have Outlander. Your father was the Gilderer, or so your mother claimed. Why he traveled as far as the slums of Luna 2, and why he abandoned your family. Questions she would not answer. Other children mocked you openly for your crazy things she claimed. Game, Street Code. Unlocks special event options. House of Zael. Or Zael? Your family has led the spiritual and mental development, or martial development, of Gildu for decades. Raised with the very best education and training, it is your calling to defend those who cannot defend themselves. Nope. House of Wudi. All psychers struggle to control their gift, but members of the House of Wudi seem to relish in defying resistance. Some claim they focus too much on destruction that can rot by the force of force psycher. I like this. Next, adulthood. Rogue psycher. Your powers manifested in a schoolyard brawl and revealed the terrible truth of your mother's story. Arrested by Chimera, you began for being an unregistered psyker. You escaped custody, killed several guards, and sought sanctuary in Guild. I have a problem with Chimera, but I have increased damage. Jillian, biotech ally. A Jillian doctor dispensing free care to the slums diagnosed your strange headaches and visions as latent psychic powers. Risking his life, he smuggled you to the safety of Guild, and you have remained friends ever since. I kind of liked that one. No one expected the pirates to strike the core, let alone reach Luna 2. Your powers manifested when one threatened your sister with a rusty blade. You slaughtered his crew and carved a bloody swath through the pirates, even as you fled. I don't know. I kind of like that one, actually. Last time I picked this one, but I didn't actually read them last time. I didn't care much. I like that one. Fuck pirates. Now, Acolyte. You've been granted the rank of Acolyte and are sent to bring honor, glory, and tenderness to Gilead. You strike out boldly to hone your powers against the challenges of the Fringe. Grant. You gain uncommon weapon. Pendant. A terrible transgression occurred, and the tribunal named you as the guilty party. Banished. Your sins have been absolved. You are cast out. Banished until your sins have been resolved. Why am I missing words? You are cast out into the Fringe. Rare accessory. Rebel Wanderer. Tired of routine and discipline of Gilead. You steal away in the dead of night to seek adventure, stopping by the house vault to pick up a few choice items, of course. I like this one. Decimate pirates, but apparently I screwed with the law too, so I'm an outlander, zealous crusader with a pennant. Welcome to Styx. I have unspent ability points. So Edge's Strike. So it's really weird. So time units are how fast the move will activate, if I remember correctly, and it requires 40 energy, force energy to use. There are 2 more ranks after this that I have to go into. And if I remember correctly, going into this, my force energy... No. Oh, okay. I probably have equipment that's allowing the force energy to regenerate. Whatever. Throw your shield, i.e. Captain America style. It strikes at the 3 enemies, gaining 5% damage with each person it strikes. The next is you always cause more threat, and all allies gain 5% elemental resistance. The next level, whatever. When your force energy drops below 10, heal for 5% of your health and rejuvenate 20. Inner Peace can only be activated once per combat. Rank 2 on activation grants your ally with the lowest health regeneration, healing at the start of the turn for 3% of their maximum health. And the third one, once in combat, once per combat, if struck by a killing blow, heal 20% of your health and gain. Ooh, that one's a really nice one. What about this one? Warding blow. Smash a foe for 30%. Create a barrier on the lowest stage peak for 30% of your current health. Grants a 30% chance. If it criticals, is at 50% strength. Inner balance. Yeah, I liked this one too. When your energy is above 80, the damage you deal is increased by 3%. If it's below 20, you regenerate 5 per turn. At the start of your turn, each debuff adds 10% chance to cleanse. Once per battle, if an ally takes damage that would bring their health below 20%, they gain a barrier equal to 10% of your max health. On your first turn of combat, all allies gain a barrier of 1% of your current health. When the barrier absorbs elemental damage, all allies gain 2% resistance to that element for 1 turn. Damn. So, Sentinel, Guardian, Berserker, Force Hammer. So, this one permanently destroys shields, which is really useful. But the passive, when your health is below 30%, you embrace your inner turmoil and boost all your damage you deal. Damage increased as your health drops up to 50%. While inner turmoil is active, your critical hits deal 10% extra damage. While inner turmoil is active, heal 1% of your maximum health each turn. Damn. Increases. So, this guy should be first. Or this. I think this one. Warding blow. After I get this one. No, this one. After I get to this one, I'll start moving down this path. Okay, here's the accessory. Mark of the Penance. Regenerate force energy by 5. Really, really useful. Everything else is shitty equipment. Okay, that was a good 13 fucking minutes. Sorry. Here. A haggard-looking bartender is working the bar, his mech arm continuing to wipe down the pitted counter as he sizes you up. Doc Sam. Evening. Haven't seen you here before, so welcome to the station Terminus 9, jewel of the sector. Locals call her Styx for short. What's your poison? Here is where I get street knowledge. I'm quite familiar with such enviros. Quests are readily available in such locales. He grins. Doc Sam. Pegged you for my kind of folk when you slumped in. Used to having friends in low places, yeah? Well, you'll be right at home, Styx. Taking a long drag from his cigar, the Doc stares at you evenly. I'm not hiring janitors at the moment. You misunderstand me, friend. Just funning with you. It's not every cycle I get a new crawler. He leans forward on the creaking bar. Trouble is, my wire terminal is on the fritz. can't get you any work until it's fixed. Maybe you could do me a favor and grab some spare parts from the basement. And here's where the fun of this game starts. You have options. Sure, I can do that. What's the wire? And wait, is this some kind of tutorial? Are you tutorialing me? Why, well, yes, now that you mention it. But I do need the parts, actually. Oh, but I do need the parts. Actually, hold up, listen, punk. Crosses his arms and regards you evenly. Lesson 1 of a crawling. Don't be too quick to turn down a paying job. It's not all high-stake heists. Sometimes you gotta do what's on offer, even if it's peddling a shipload of suffering space monkey bears. What the fuck is a space monkey bear? I don't need a tutorial, let's get to... No, fair enough. I'll do it. He waves you off and turns to deal with a surly customer, calling to you over his shoulder as he does. Thanks much. I'll stick it on the job board. Check it out when you head down to the basement. Check it out. And then head down to the basement whenever. Watch out for Surdy. Surdy? Had to toss that guy out. Tab as long as my arm. Put the job on the board for you soon as you can see. So as you can see how that works. Alright. Check this job. Da-da-da. Before you learn to crawl. Accept the job. Wants me to go down. Once the wire's active. Oh. My team. Launch. This is going to be a slightly long episode. Mainly because that's kind of how these games work. Like, I'm sorry, but that's exactly how these games work. Use WASD to move around and turn. Strafe with blah blah blah. I changed those keys because I hated them. You could auction this item in the black market. Valuables are found exploring. Search for secret tasks. Speak. So there was a mark on the lower corner. And small medkit. Many objects are inactive. Look at an object and click it when it's in range. Somebody has securely locked this door. You'll never be able to... you'll need to find a manual override if you want to get it open. Try searching the room for an obvious switch. I believe that's the one. Ah, yep, that's it. As the door grinds open, a small hooded figure darts through, past you towards the exit door. It pauses and cautiously turns to study you. It appears to be a small child, probably a station urchin. Underneath the tatters of a filthy cloak, you can see a glint of something shiny. Street knowledge. Carefully display a hand gesture indicating peace. The urchin cocks his head up to the side and calmly returns the gesture. Kneeling quickly, it places a glittering object from the folds of its cloak onto the floor before vanishing into the shadows. Tiny chromium music box. You could auction this, blah blah blah. so much detail in this game. Stubborn door. Each class has abilities that will aid the team both in combat and exploring. As you gain a level, you will gain 1 ability point. Assign ability points in the character menu / abilities. This door isn't locked, but is stubbornly refusing to open. Using your unique talents, you should be able to convince it to open. If you haven't already, opened your character menu and assign ability points. Sentinel Psyker 3. Manifest a force hammer and smash the door. Ha ha ha! Data jack. You found a data jack. These terminals connect the real world to the virtual one of the local wired network. Jacking into a network gives you access to traps, security doors, and more. Jack in. This should look very familiar to certain individuals, because it looks exactly like the net of Shadowrun, the Sega Genesis game. I believe it was the Sega Genesis game. You have entered a port node, which is linked to the data jack in the real world. Nodes are usually defended, but this one wasn't. Bonus. There is a hidden data store on this node that can be looted. Loot data store. Baby safeguard. Cool. And abandoned wire. Exit. Alright. Deck. I believe. Oh. There. So the install was my what's it called? Basically my spells in the cybernetic world. You have you've entered hacking combat with an enemy. On your turn, click and hold on an enemy to see a program wheel. Release over the program to run it. Suzdi is a corrupt type enemy and will take bonus damage from your security programs. Oh, this thing. Bam. Sudzi has damaged the core of your deck and with an attack on your hardening points. HP. If your HP of your deck is reduced to 0, then your deck will crash out of the network and you will be unable to hack until your deck is repaired. Look for utilities that boost HP to keep your hacking. Masking points. Has damaged the core, hindering the identity of your deck with an attack on your masking points. If MP of your deck is reduced to 0, you will be identified by the network and disconnected. MP resets to full at the end of a mission. You notice how the damage I'm doing is like nowhere near enough? There's a reason. Fatal exception in mono.exe. Please wait 3,785 cycles for recompile. He is now down to 5 hit points. Dead. I wouldn't have been able to beat that otherwise. You've entered the network core, which is linked to all security systems in the real world. Crash the core to take down the laser beams. Regains 5 MP. Upper left-hand corner, you can see my quest log. Fetch the wired doodad. You have entered combat mode with an enemy. The turn order of the combat is shown in the timeline above. The active character is on the top left. On your turn, click and hold the target to see your ability wheel. Release over the ability to activate it. Abilities have time unit costs to activate. Faster ones have fewer, slower have more, but often hit harder. The arrow shows you where you will move in the timeline when your ability is used. So if I use that, I go there. If I use that... So Warding Blow is a lot faster, but it costs me energy and it doesn't deal much damage. But it will hit. So, Warding Blow, give myself. I've just been hit with a status effect. Both positive and negative status effects are displayed on the custom character's battle icon on the top of the screen. Click the battle icon for more details. Try it out now. Sparkles! Through the thoroughly scrubbed bison. He cleaned me! Cleaned me! Oh, that's kind of cool, I guess. This is the factions and stuff like that. Here we go. Boom Slag Boomer. Uncommon heavy weapon. What am I using now? Heavy melee weapon. Equipped. 10% guidance. So those upgrades down at the bottom you see? These on your cost 25%. Increase it. Those are really weird that will come up later. Alright. Oh, and every run is slightly different. I did not get that gun last time I played this. And that's it. Your mission is complete. Fetched the wired doodad. Are you sure you want to return to Styx? Yes. Payment. Now fixed and have jobs for you. As you stroll through the station, a cloaked figure straddles up to you. Darl. Ah! New adventurers in our humble station, yes? I can always spot a potential business partner in from a parsec away. Street knowledge. And you've got a lucrative deal only I can cash in on. Go sell your street games elsewhere. I've played this one before. Collected one Aeon Cube. Oh, a fellow lowlife, yes? I knew I liked you. I'm going to offer you a sample to secure your interest. But since you are aware of my moves, so to speak, take several. You may see that I am sincere. He hands you a fistful of small glowing cubes from his satchel. I'll not lie to you or waste your time. Out of respect of our mutual admiration here, have a listen to this. Where are you? I'm listening. Indeed. Here. He hands you a small glowing cube from the folds of his robe. This is an Eon cube. Bring me any that you find, and I'll trade you for them. Keep that as an example of my good favor. And what to look for when you're crawling. What is it? A mere bauble, really. A marketing trinket from Amazon that was produced en masse before the company went bankrupt. Now you'll notice a unique serial etched into each casing. Quite the collectible for an ideal rich. For the ideal rich. But otherwise, worthless. Why are you collecting? A client has contracted with me to acquire as many as possible for a private collection. They're trading rare gear in exchange, and I, most humbly, am a broker broker for the transaction. Before you ask, no, you cannot meet the client or deliver the cubes yourself. My client values privacy. I value my cut. What are you trading for them? Ah, an excellent question. My client has access to some incredibly rare and exotic gear, weapons, and such you would never find on the rim. Drop by my shop and see what's on offer. Alright, keep an eye out for them. Excellent! I am most pleased by our business accurate. Accoutrement? No, whatever. And I'm sure you'll be most pleased by the sweet, sweet swag I offer in exchange. Bye now. Darrell turns sharply on his heel and slinks back into the black market. And nothing. And that's it for this episode, folks. If you liked me basically narrating this whole goddamn thing, cool, let me know. If you want to see me continue playing this, but don't want to hear me talk about this anymore, go ahead and leave a comment. As with the update video, which I will link in the description below, this is one of 5 videos this week. The week of, starting the 18th of March? Yeah, 18th of March, 2019. This week, this is one of 5 videos that you will see. Vote by either liking or commenting. Commenting is worth 3 votes. Liking is worth 1. If you want to really not see this happen again, throw a dislike at it. I may not be happy to see them, but it is your opinion, not mine. A dislike is worth 1 negative vote. There is no such thing as a negative comment, but I will take criticism as what it is. So, if you like this, definitely leave a like and comment. If you so choose, you can subscribe. I honestly don't care. It is your time, not mine. Until next time, have fun, be safe, and aloha.